engaged with your community. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I know I am too. So as people are starting to settle in and come in, I just wanted to give everyone a little update about why we're talking, and then we can get into some questions. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Mary Karr. I'm the co-founder and chief content officer for Who What Wear. And I mean, you need no introduction, but I'm here with Julianne Hough, and we are going to talk about a bunch of stuff. But the reason behind all of that is because Who What Wear has partnered with Free People, and we are co-hosting something called The Retreat on this Saturday, May 23rd. It's a virtual escape to benefit our friends at World Central Kitchen, which is a great nonprofit organization that is dedicated to feeding those most impacted by COVID-19. We have amazing sessions all day. You can buy tickets for like a morning block or an evening block or for the whole day. Everything from meditations and health and wellness things to I'm going to do a cooking class with Tegan from Half Baked Harvest, which have never cooked online before like that. So it's going to be interesting. And even more exciting is that you are going to lead an exercise class. You're going to do a Kinergy workout at 9 a.m. West Coast time, as part of this amazing benefit that we're doing. And it's all going to be over Zoom, if for some reason I haven't mentioned that piece of it. So pretty cool. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Honestly, I mean, considering the case of what's happening in the world, I feel like people are coming together even more than we thought was even possible because of technology. And like, I've always been one that's like, I don't like technology. I got to get on TikTok now. What's going on? But at the same time, I'm like, wait, like I feel more connected to the world right now than I ever have. And because we're collectively going through something as a humanity, like together, I really do feel like whatever this screen is, like I feel like I see you, I feel you, like we're in this together. So I've actually never felt more connected, even though I still don't understand technology, but I've never felt more connected. So I'm super excited and super honored to be able to be at the retreat on Saturday. And of course, you know, Kinergy is what I've been working on for the last 2 years. It's a modality that really helps people connect to themselves.
Which we need more now more than ever, right?
We really do. I mean, you know, we're either at home in self-isolation and feeling like, why am I feeling lonely? What do I need? And all these things are coming up. So if we can't connect to ourselves and we don't know those, like what's going on, then we're like out of body and chaos and all that kind of stuff. Or vice versa. You have kids running around and family members and it's all out here. So you have to like connect to self. Like, what do I need? So Kinergy is all about helping people connect to themselves so that they can really be present with who they are and then relate to the people and experience the world how we should, which is with love. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love that. So I have a few questions for you in the meantime. Normally, I wouldn't ask about your loungewear, but I do feel like this is a different sort of time. So I feel like loungewear in general has become a huge part of everyone's everyday wardrobe. So I'm wondering what isolation loungewear looks like for you. And is it any different than how you would normally be when casually at home?
So my dream case scenario, and I would say this all the time, is that when I become like 60 years old, I'm just gonna wear like cream colored clothes that are all loungewear. I'm like, I've been doing that for the last 5 years. Like,
by the way, Eva Chen calls that
60.
stick of butter dressing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like my favorite look ever. And I literally, someone actually sent me, I feel very fortunate. People send me stuff still. But a knitted, like creamy, buttery, you know, loungewear set. There was a skirt. I was like, oh, this is cute. So I'm all about the loungewear. Between my workout clothes and then loungewear, you can make it chic too. Like I'm so into it. I love
really
it.
think that like when you do like a monochromatic version of loungewear, that immediately elevates the whole thing.
That's honestly, I think monochromatic earth tones are my jam. So like anything kind of muted, very earthy, and like like I'm in somewhere in Mexico, just like living my best life. Like that's my loungewear for sure. But then I will say I've been a little weird. I'm sure everybody's got on this like tie-dye craze
Yes.
recently. And so 1 week straight, I had like 4 different outfits that were all tie-dyed.
No way.
So I just had a week of tie-dye.
Are you doing it yourself or is it like
Yeah.
pieces? Oh my God. Okay. So
Yeah.
what's like your secret for good tie-dye? Because
Don't go crazy.
okay.
Don't go crazy with it. Like just pick one color. So it's like yellow and white. If you try to put all the colors, it just looks like someone threw up on you. But but yeah, so it's like just pick one color, so like blue and white or yellow and white, and yeah, let the white come through. I feel like because then you get like I don't know, it looks like clouds or something, clouds or sunshine. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, I like that because it's true. Like, I do think that I tend to go maximalist when it comes to like anything crafty. And I'm like, well, if I'm already, I mean, it's like decorating a cake. Like, if I'm already doing it, I might as well add 10,000 colors or 10,000 sprinkles or whatever it is. And then you realize after the fact, you're like, no, maybe a little restraint would actually
well, then
be
you realize your shirt's now just this like brown green color because all the colors melded together. Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting. I think there's something perky and cheerful about tie-dye right now. I also have been going back and forth between, so I don't know if you saw, there was a big piece in the LA Times not that long ago about making the case for like dressing up and about how that it actually, and then Busy Phillips was talking about it a lot. And oh, look at you, we're calling these hard pants now. Not soft pants, they're just jeans.
I'm just pointing this out too. My thigh ripped it because I've been like not fully, you know, like I'm still like lounging, but in jeans. What's happening?
Okay,
lounge
so
jeans.
You believe in the power of actually like getting out of just the loungewear from time to time.
From time to time, you know, I think it's not, I mean, I'm always a big believer in it's not what you put on, it's how you show up in it. And so if I'm feeling great in loungewear, then I'm gonna rock that loungewear. If I'm feeling a little brand, like let me put something on that makes me feel good, makes me feel like, oh, I feel alive. And so like today, I don't know why, I was like, I feel like black. I feel sassy. I feel like I got a little pinky lip situation happening.
Good.
So this is the first time I put jeans on though. So
you have on a belt, which means you are officially dressed.
Although like I don't know what these socks are, but
girl,
also,
I
I'm
have
sitting on the floor. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I put a bra on. Oh my gosh, that's huge. That's actually huge. The fact that I put a bra on today.
Totally, I feel you on that completely. So. As far as style goes in general, like who would you say some of your style inspirations are, and has that changed over the years?
Diane Keaton. I mean, just
she makes Instagram everything also.
She's perfection. I love her. I also will say like, I don't know, like I'm really into this, like I'm growing my roots out. So like I'm really into this like natural,
like
purposefully. So like this quarantine is like literally doing me a favor.
Because I love the fact that you always are doing interesting different things to your hair. It's one of I enjoy it so much from afar.
It's like my inward, whatever I'm feeling on the inside, I need an outward expression for it, you know?
So you're growing your hair out, you're growing your color out.
Getting all the color to go normal, because I've been like really just inspired by these older, wiser ladies with like long silver hair that just, again, wears these like monochromatic outfits that are just badasses. Like less is more, and they're just comfortable in their own skin. And so I've just been like looking at these ladies like I want to grow up and be like you. So like Eileen Fisher, like I'm just, you know, like just, and like I've been really obviously like trying to be a little bit more holistic in my approach of sustainability and what does that look like? So looking at different brands, but I would say like, I don't know, I'm like an old lady at heart, I think. Like I think I'm a 70-year-old woman trapped inside of a 31-year-old's body.
I think there's something very chic about that too, because it's like really saying like, I am who I am. Like this is what I want to do, and I am unabashedly leaning into that. I'm not as concerned about what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing what I want to do for me, and there's something that's just delightful and sexy and cool and inspiring about that.
I think so. I mean, that's my whole philosophy is like, if you just feel, I'm not going to swear, but freaking awesome in your own skin, like, one, you're just going to radiate awesomeness and sexiness or sass or beauty or whatever it is that you're feeling. And it doesn't matter what your hair is, what your makeup is, that all just enhances it. However that enhances your own expression and your own essence, I'm all for it. So if it's all the things, then do all the things, you know, or if it's nothing, do nothing. Whatever it is for you. So I'm all about that. And like us feeling like so comfortable in our own skin just accentuates whatever we put on our bodies.
Totally agree. Speaking of what you put on your body, how's that for a segue? So
Hey.
I really feel like the power of having a morning routine is more important to me than ever. Like I have gotten really regimented with it. I also think part of it is I have an 8-month-old and a 2.5-year-old, and so like every day is the same for them. So there's no sleeping in my life. So I have started to embrace the morning routine and gotten a little bit more serious about finding some joy in the ritual aspect of it. And I'm wondering what your morning routine looks like these days.
Man, just praise you for having kids. Like I feel I'm so spoiled. Like I have such a luxury that I get to have many hours in the morning to myself. And so I will
well, I had that for a long time. So I'm like,
yeah, but still, you know, hands on my heart to you and to all the mamas out there, you know, and parents just in general. So I'm just going to say all of my alone things right now. I wake up.
Yes.
And I prep my lemon water the night before. So I prep some lemon water just so that it's the first thing that I do in the morning. And it's like really soaked in there, all that yummy organic lemon. So I wake up first thing in the morning, I drink chug my lemon water and let it just like do its thing. And then while I'm doing that, I open the curtains and I do like a Wim Hof breathing or Kinergy breathing, whatever it is. So I
didn't know about.
Do you do this?
No, but I found out about it. I watched the Goop Netflix show like everyone else, and now I'm obsessed. I was like, I want to go do yoga in the snow and not be nervous about it. Anyway, it seems amazing. Have you been doing this for a long time?
So I didn't do Wim Hof's breathing, but I've been doing breath work for years. Okay. And you know, like I've just recently kind of switched over to his version just because he's so magnetic. I'm like, I just want to try what you're doing. So I've been doing that the last month. And so I do that breath work. And then I do like a little gratitude visualization of 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then I go into like a full meditation for like only like 20 minutes. But because I've done the breath and I've like moved my body and I've had all this gratitude, all of a sudden I can actually have a still mind. And because I'm not great with the just totally still meditation. That's why I'll talk more about Kinergy, about how you can get into that meditative state through movement, breath, and activating your imagination. But anyway, I do a still meditation because it's probably the only time that I am still throughout the day. So I do 20 minutes there, and then I do something called morning pages. And
like the Artist's Way.
Yeah. Have you read The Artist's Way?
I have.
Yeah. And it's like a whole program workbook. So, course, there we go. So I do 3 pages of just stream of conscious, you know, writing. And I don't look back at it. And what I realize is through the, you know, previous day or through my dreams, when you first wake up in the morning, you just need to sometimes dump
Yeah.
And like sometimes you wake up with anxiety, or sometimes you wake up with like a little fear or whatever it is, or just somebody else's energy, whatever it might be. And so just writing it just gets it out. And then it's like, oh, I have space.
Yeah.
And so that's my first little thing. And then, and that takes like an hour, hour and a half ish to get through all of that. And then, oh, sorry, I do go on a run now. And it's again, 20 minutes. It's not to work out. It's to be outside in nature. And now that there aren't as many cars, I can hear the birds singing and people walking. And so I've been meeting my neighbors for the first time, because I live in the hills and most people aren't out walking because you're afraid you're going to get hit by a car because the roads are so small, you know?
Right.
And people are out walking. I know Will, I know Sunny, I know Jacqueline. I mean, I'm like making all my friends with my neighbors. So so I've been doing that. And then and then I come back and I have some sort of green juice or smoothie shake, something like that, and start my day. So
that sounds very centered.
it is. I am. So we have this thing in Kinergy. We have an elemental blueprint test, and I'm very air. And so if I'm always in my air, I am scatterbrained. I can't stay focused. Like clearly I go on rants, as we've just witnessed here. But it's my creative and my innovative self.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's really hard for me to stay focused. And so if I don't do that in the morning, I find it very hard to get anything done.
I think it's so freeing though, once you figure out like what your routine has to be, and then you can just lean into it and you realize like, okay, this is what I have to do to be my best self.
Totally.
And it took me years to start to unlock that. And I feel like even I'm 40, like I'm still figuring it out, but it's like the days that you get it and you're like, okay, like now I can start my day. Now I can go about it. It just, there's something so marvelous about that. And it's worth really exploring, because the way that you start your day really sets the tone for how the rest of it's going to go.
Yeah, the rest of the day and the rest of the week, because whatever happened during that day is like a pivotal moment for what's going to happen the next day, you know? And so if you're like setting up all these little seeds that are being planted for the future. So every day is as important as the next. And so, it takes a long time. And sometimes I'm like, wow, it's an hour and a half of like, just like me time to get centered. Come on, Julia, and get it quicker, you know? But it's like, no, I need that amount of time for myself in the morning.
There you go.
And I'm creating a boundary. Like, I do not start before 9 o'clock. And that way I can.
Nothing good happens before then anyway.
No. And that's the other thing. I don't look at my phone. I don't look at my phone while I'm in my bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I will go into the scrollies.
Yeah.
The scrollies just kill my vibe for the whole day. The scrollies is Instagram, by the way.
That's amazing.
And so at least for an hour.
It's like a rabbit hole. I get it.
Ooh. And my whole day shifts if I've done the scrollies in the morning.
So I feel like one of the crazy things about this sheltering at home time, for those of us who are lucky enough to be able to do that, is that it has resulted in some new routines and new knowledge about ourselves. I have found today is day 30 in a row of me exercising. Woo! And if you consider that I had never done more than 6 days in a row in my entire life, I'm really proud of myself. And this is like first getting back to it after a year and a half of being pregnant and then some other stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm rediscovering that I really like to work out, or at least that I'm liking it right now. Anyway, so I'm wondering if you've had any moments of self-discovery during this time period where you've realized like a light has gone off, like, oh, I actually really do love reading X, Y, and Z, or, oh, like I don't need to talk to people as much as I thought I did, whatever it may be.
Oh my gosh, I've had so many of those moments. First of all, heck yes, girl, go you. That is huge and so should be celebrated. And I'm celebrating you so hard right now.
Thank you.
And then, I would say for me, mine's almost kind of the opposite, because I have worked out and I have done that my whole life. And I know that I feel better when I do it. And so I know I get results. But part of me has just, I've been home and I've actually found more balance because I somehow have this like energizer pack that's like 15% more than 100, like, and it just is always on. And I have always prided myself with that because I can just keep going. But I have really just like, I turn off my phone at night and I finish and I start when I want to start. And because I'm not driving in the car and I'm not like going to a lunch meeting and this, like I've really found that, wow, I really love, I love being home.
Yeah.
And by the way,
It's interesting,
again,
right?
I know that I have privilege. I am very privileged, and I have a luxury that a lot of people don't. So I don't take that for granted. But I will say that, wow, like my life has completely done a 180 from what it was last year, where I was just going, hustling. My adrenals were burning out. And, you know, I had to have more to keep going to feed me.
Yeah.
And so this time I've actually, you know, been home. I've actually, I thought I was going to get more bored, but I'm not. Like I'm taking baths. I'm reading. I'm cooking. Just so much more intentional about everything that I do during the day. And my days seem, it's interesting. They're like short and long at the same time.
Yes.
It's like time doesn't exist at all right now. Time and space is like, what is that?
Yeah.
But I'm really just enjoying just like space.
Got it. I know it's funny. I think that we all are sort of like busyness and productivity addicts in some
Yeah.
way, where it's like there's this mentality of like more is more, and like how many things can you do, and you have as many hours in the day as Beyonce, and all
Mhm.
of that, which I think is wonderful and inspiring. But also at the same time, though, it's like you can't sustain that. And I've been trying to look for silver linings in what's going on in the world, and it's hard because there's so much suffering and it's so scary and there's so much sadness. But then there are also these small moments of hope and these small moments of peace when you realize like, oh, I can do just as much without running all over the place. Like I can be a little bit more centered, and for those moments of clarity and those moments of light in the middle of all of this, I'm so grateful.
I love that you said that about enough because before all this happened, I usually pick like a word or two words that like I feel like are going to be my year. And the two words I picked were pure intention and I have enough. And that I have enough is so important for me because it's not that I don't feel like I'm enough, but I don't feel like I have enough. And so I keep going and I love to create. And so like it's not a materialistic thing. It's
Mm-mm.
more of a, yeah, Beyonce has this many hours in a day. Well, I want to do that, you know? And it's like, I can do that. And I was thinking about before this all happened and, you know, the meme that was going around about how like, you know, you've done enough to Mother Earth, like you should sit in your house and think about what you've done. You know, it's like it was like, yeah, we had so much pressure on the planet that we got home. And then I felt like I got so overwhelmed in that first week because it was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Projects. And then I was like, ah! And I called my entire company and I was like, take 4 days off and the weekend. If you cannot, don't look at social media. Don't start thinking about like what we have to keep up with because now it's just keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And then it's putting more pressure now on us as people.
Right.
And it's going to just do the same thing that we did to the planet. We're going to kill ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
It's like from just the amount of pressure we're putting on ourselves to achieve. And so yeah, I feel like I can feel it in the world too. Like people are, it kind of was like bubbling at the
Yes.
beginning and then it like went into like super depression for a minute.
Yep.
And now people are like, oh, this is important. This is not important.
I do feel like it's leveling out in a different way. You're completely right about that. So besides baths, what is sparking joy for you right now?
Sparking joy. I mean,
By the way, baths are serious joy. Like I didn't even get into baths until I like was in my 30s, I think. Well, obviously I was into baths when I was a baby, but like purposeful baths of a place to like go and read and just be quiet. They're so magical.
they really are. And there's something about water that is so nurturing and it just like, and very sensual.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that, like, as women, as men too, or however you identify, like, we, there's such a taboo about sensuality, and that sensuality means it's sexual to someone else.
Right.
And there's something about just like being in a bath by yourself, and it's for no one else.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this water is so yummy on my skin, and like, oh, this is mine. And like, just like, I don't know. There's some real beauty and sensuality in taking a bath, and I think that that is really important,
Yes.
especially during this time. So, so yeah.
So
So
baths are
baths are
sparking
amazing.
joy.
I love it. I spark in so much joy. I will say, you know, like I did these 2 Disney specials where
Yeah.
yeah, so that sparked a lot of joy. Where I just got to create, and you know, Mary Poppins is all about magic, and so I got to create in my house, and that was really fun. That sparked a lot of joy, and I will say that, you know, I'm so grateful and I'm so joyful that I get to wake up every day and feel like I have a purpose to serve with Kinergy. Like I wake up knowing that like we're building this incredible community that they feel each other, and they feel seen, and they feel heard, and they feel connected to like-minded people, where they get to dance and feel expressed, and it's super transformational. So people are telling each other their stories of like maybe some depression or anxiety or some trauma that happened to them, and now they feel heard for the first time. And so that to me is what gives me so much joy, is just knowing that I can wake up and every day in this time having a purpose to serve. And like, I don't know, I feel a lot of joy from that.
That is wonderful. And I think it's going to be so great on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to your session. So just again, for
Yeah.
everyone who has tuned in a little bit later, who What Wear and Free People have teamed up to do the retreat. Julianne's going to be leading a workout. What can people expect from that? And oh, by the way, tickets, all proceeds are going to benefit World Central Kitchen, and they're feeding, you know, anyone who is affected by COVID. So it's going to this really great cause. And you are leading a session all at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 9 a.m. West Coast time. So I guess that's noon for you East Coasters. What can people expect from it?
So
is it like a classic Kinergy situation?
How do we explain Kinergy? So Kinergy is, well, kin represents family, tribe, community. Kinesthetic is movement, and then energy. And so, you know, we focus a lot on our physical energy, you know, or not, sorry, energy, physical body, working out, getting our heart rate up, and that's always really great. We move. Then we're focused on our mental health right now, meditation, mindfulness, awareness, all that. So that's our mindfulness. But I think a lot of people don't really focus on their energy. And energy is not some woo-woo, hippity-dippity thing, you know. Energy is what we create light with, you know. It's like how we actually survive in the world. And so if we can raise the vibration of our own internal energy in our body, we can literally shift the frequency in our own possibility of what's possible. And so especially during this time when our frequency is maybe all over the place and really low and stuck and uncertain, you can't create possibility from that place of like unlimited potential. And so we just want to raise people's vibration and their energy to a place where they believe anything is possible, because anything is possible. And so when you come to the class, I would say if you feel a little intimidated, don't worry. It's not about being a dancer. It's not about getting anything right or wrong, good or bad. It's about expression, not perfection. It's movement that is not choreography. It's follow along. So it's simple movements. But I would say the more that you give, the more you're going to get. So the 3 pillars are movement, breath, and then activating your imagination. So I'll take you through different breath patterns as you're moving. And the whole point of that is to keep you focused on like the breath, so you're not worried about the movements. And then the last part is the most important part, and that's the activating of the imagination. When we're kids, we are like little sponges of creativity, and like our childlike wonderment is just incredible. And then somewhere along the line, like we go into, ooh, I'm not a dancer. Oh, ooh, I can't do that. Or that's not for me. Or, you know, we start building up these layers of protection. When you see a baby dancing in their high chair before they even walk, they're not worried if their parent thinks they're good or bad. They're just feeling it and grooving it. So that's what Kinergy is. It's a moment for you to just feel expressed, and you'll breathe, you'll move, and you'll like move through the elements with your imagination. Earth, fire, water, air, and you pull them all through your body and feel just like the power of nature. And then the last thing too is if you do feel a little self-conscious, my biggest tip for anybody trying it for the first time, do it in a darker room.
Ooh.
Maybe light a candle.
Love it.
And keep it dark. Like, you know, when you're like in a darker space, you feel like you're less exposed. Yes. And I think that this class takes you on an arc. It takes you on the hero's journey. So sometimes people get a little emotional, and sometimes they laugh, and sometimes they're like, why am I crying?
I love that.
And so, you know, just giving yourself permission and to a place where this is for me. I'm just going to have fun, and I'm going to be a kid, and I'm going to play full out.
I'm so excited. Well, I'll see you there. So for everyone who's watching, we're going to have a slide that comes on after this that has all of the details, how you can buy tickets, more information about the event. I'm really looking forward to, I'm just really looking forward to all of it, but I'm totally going to do your session. This is going to be fabulous.
I think you're going to really love it. I think especially after your 30 days of awesome workouts that you've done, I think this will just take it to the emotional level.
And I love the tip about darkness, because it's true. It's like you dance differently in a club than you do in the dentist's office.
Exactly.
And lighting is a part of that.
It is. It is. Actually, in our studios that we've designed, like we have the lighting switching through the elements and scent coming in, and like it's a whole experience. So create your own experience, your own environment in your room.
I love that. That's so cool. Well, Julianne, thank you so much. This was
You're
such
the
a
best.
pleasure. Giving you a big hug. Thank you for doing this, and thank you all for joining us. And hopefully I'll see you for sure, and everyone who's tuned in on Saturday, the 23rd. See you then.
See you then.
All right. Bye, my
dear.
Everyone.